welcome to Melbourne Musos, Facechook Live. Hey, oh, oh, hey, oh, all right. Ooh, scary stuff. Hey. Hey. How's everyone tonight? Hey. What a week. Ooh. 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 My name is Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facechook Live. Ah. Hey. Oh. What a week, as I said. Oh, a week where everything's getting cancelled and all the rest of the gigs are sold out. Hey, sold out. You gotta love that line. Hey, oh, how you going? My name is Quinlan. As I said, Melbourne Musos Facechook Live. Camera 1, 2. Where's 3? Up there. Hello. Oh, I shall turn these little morsels off. Okay, hang on 1 second. 8 gone and gone. To return later in the show. Hey, I don't even know why I'm talking like this, mate. Hey. Ooh, tales from the cooked, mate. Anyway, here we are, Melbourne Facechook. Now, this might be amongst the last couple of Facechooks that I will be making for our beloved Channel 31. I'm getting straight into it, getting down to it, because the saddest thing happened today while I was preparing for today's show. I was so happy. I still am, but you have to, you know, compartmentalise. But the Antenna Awards have been cancelled because of lockdowns and everything else, but mainly in so many ways because of this dogma that is going to close off Australian community television once and for all. It's cooked! Because there's no reason. I'm starting tonight with it because it's infantile. We are dealing with a bunch of infants, okay, dressed in suits, wrapped in self-importance. But fancy starting something. I didn't even put you in at the shallow end of the pool, okay? I launched straight into the deep end, took a bit of a dive. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is go back up. Come up for air. Okay, I'm coming up for air. And tonight's episode, because it is a drum show after all, is something that I've been doing for quite a while. But I thought I'd bring it up again. It's always good for a refresher, and if there's... The other week I was inundated with new friends, and like I said, I hope you are all real. And last night I think I got one of those "your password has been compromised" messages, so I think someone was really trying to have a good crack at hacking. Anyway, I've changed it. Hopefully everything. If you're getting any dodgy stuff from me, some of you would say it's mostly dodgy anyway, you know, but that's all right. But let me know so I can change the passwords yet again. Whatever. What a world we live in, mate bear! Oh, so tonight's show, drum-wise, is odds and evens, rights and lefts. Now, it's a common thread. What you have is when you're getting around, what will happen is sometimes when you're dealing with odd numbers and even numbers, I'm getting into the drum lesson part of the evening now, and what happens is that sometimes you're going to have to work out a problem, okay? You've got to work it out. what is going on. Sometimes what will happen, my beloved students will tell you that I say this example quite a bit. I have a beautiful China cymbal over the left-hand side. I might be going down the drums. And the guitarist or the keyboard player of the band says, Chris, I love that China cymbal. Can you play it on the 4th beat? And it'll be 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I'm in a bit of trouble here. So what would happen? You see, what you can do is you could perhaps go 1, 2, paradiddle, You have to work it out, you see. Now, up here, I'm going to, I think you know my gist of what goes on. This is all live to camera, okay, without a net, as they say. And so you see me screw up often. I love it. Anyway, what happens though is that afterwards, with a little bit of editing cordial and a slab of honey, I put up the blue screen and there and all that stuff. So what goes on tonight? I'll give you this odds and evens and rights and lefts, but the first example I'll put up is, I've got to try and find the article. It's somewhere in this house, I don't know where. But basically there was a magazine called Drummer Magazine, and there was this wonderful article called The Survivors of the Black Page. And as you know, I'm a Zappa aficionado. I'm not going to play it tonight. I played it at Christmas. Anyway, but what it is it was an article about how 3 of the drummers, after Frank Zappa wrote the Black Page #1 and then the Teenage New York version, not long after, 1977, Frank Zappa in New York for Terry Bozzio there. And then what happened was, after he left, Vinnie Colaiuta there had to take over and play the piece as well. And then thirdly, there, Chad Wackerman had to play it as well at some point. So what happens is that the 3 of them had very different drum kits. You see, we have a movable feast here. Look at Doris. She's been feasting. Look. Like my joker, I put a bass drum back there. Oh, pardon me. I got to do that. Oop. Boy. Hail Caesar. Anyway. There you go, good old days. And, but what it is, back in the 90s, the band from Utopia, the Australian version, us, we thought of the name first. Anyway, based on the Man from Utopia, 1983. Anyway, what happens? The Dangerous Kitchen. If it is one thing, it's another. I didn't think I'd be humming that. I'm getting back to the Survivors of the Black Page. Because what happened is, because a drum kit is a movable feast, you have to learn to get around the damn thing. And what happened was, as Terry Bozzio, you know, because he had a humongous kit back in the day, and then Vinnie Colaiuta had bits and pieces flying everywhere, and then Chad Wackerman started with a huge kit because he had to follow, and then he added all the electronics and things, so everything was happening there. And what happened was, for each of the drummers, they had to change their sticking to get around the piece. So the aforementioned China on the 4th beat, maybe Bozzio had his China on the left, but Colaiuta had a China on the right, you know, that kind of thing, and so on it went. And you've got to work it out. So odds and evens, rights and lefts is what this show is about, getting onto it. So what happens is that when you're dealing with moving around the kit, what happens is when you're dealing with just a single stroke roll, if you're doing anything even, this is just, you know, just working it up. If you're doing anything even, you're going to stay on the same hand. So right, right, right. See how it's motion? Always right. you see. However, if you want to, like, the thing about it though, is if you're going to wang away on a crash cymbal, that's all well and good and all that sort of business, but you want to share the love. So if you don't really want, I'm going to put your shoulder out, mate. You're going to need the old endone to get down the paint and a little bit of self-medication with a slab of honey. Otherwise, you're cooked, mate. Cooked. Your shoulder's cooked, mate. So what you do is, depending on what you've got, you want to share the love to right to left. Now, Gary Chester, famous drummer to the stars back in the 80s, got a wonderful book called The New Breed. There, I've done it not so long ago, just a few weeks ago. But he would talk about territories and, the right side and the left side and all this sort of business. How do you get there? Well, when you're dealing with even numbers, like 2s and 4s, let's just talk about 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Now, if you're just going to hit the ride cymbal, that's fine. That's no worries. You've got that. You got that. However, if someone in the band says, "I love that crash cymbal," put it on 2 and 4. Cooked. So what happens is revert to mixed sticking, such as a paradiddle. Right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Here we go, the paradiddles again. So you got this now. Oh, I missed one. Oh dear. Oh bother. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. There you go. You see, that's what goes on. So what starts to happen is that you start to use mixed sticking, you start to work out what you want to do around the drums, and here's the odds and evens, rights and lefts. Now I'm going to talk about odds a little bit now. If you're going to talk about any kind of odd number, like the typical one is triplets, that will be naturally hand to hand. So you get 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a easy peasy, mate. 5. So, right, left, right, left. Bit of a de facto polyrhythm there because I'm doing 5 with my hands there, but I'm playing really a beat. Because I'm doing the quavers there, like that, that becomes a de facto 5 against 2 polyrhythm. And what you want is the resolution point. You see, I'm not sort of sitting there going, see the big fat piggy, like that. That's great for theory, and I've done shows on that. I did a show on that just the other year with the piggy. There he is up there, little piglet. That's coming up later. Anyway, so what happens is when you're dealing with that, you do the opposite. You see, when you want to go, say, one-handed. If I'm going to do 5s, okay. I can't very well go hippopotamus, hippopotamus, hippopotamus. That's rockoculus. Like that. You don't do that. Yeah. You do that. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, 2s and 3s. 1 odd, 1 even. There you go. There you go. And there you have it, you see. And then what goes on then is you're getting around the kit with odds and evens and rights and lefts, you see. That's what goes on. Now what starts to happen? You can do different things, you see, because if you want to keep the backbeat on the 2 and 4, that's fine. Now what starts to happen there is I was doing crotchet triplets, da 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 da. This time I'm playing to win, that kind of thing. But what happens is I'm actually putting essentially 4 notes into each of the triplet, you see. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, that kind of thing. And I call them dozen uplets. Something like that anyway. So essentially you're playing a crotchet triplet, so you get... Triggers on now. I'm going to do a little something and I'll talk all the way through it. Hey, low battery. Oh, I might be cooked with this one, mate. Hang on, do we still have it? Oh, I don't know. I still have it. It's going to cut out halfway through. Dirty Uncle Bertie. Come on, get in there. Cross your triplets there. That's double stroke roll. I asked the sergeant to remove the member. Oh! There you have it, you see. A little short treatise on odds and evens and rights and lefts, you see. So what happens is that when you're actually going to move around the drum kit for doing different things, and you happen to have a China cymbal there and a trash cymbal there and there and then bells here, what you've got to do is work out how you're going to get to them. Hey! And there it is there, you see. And what happens now is I'll close out the show. I'll keep it. It's a 25-minute half hour for Dear Channel 31. Boy, oh boy, aren't we all cooked? Oh, the old AstraZeneca. I went a month ago. I got 2 lollipops. Look, there you go. See, go get it and all that sort of business. I got that one. I got the AstraZeneca. I've got 5 fingers on that now. Look, see, 5 fingers. 6 fingers, I should say. I can't even count. God help me, just doing polyrhythms. And what it is it doesn't matter. The odds are higher. When I was a kid, I had pneumonia twice, and the second one was a bad one. Apparently, the doctor told my dad that the X-rays came back looking like I was wearing a Collingwood jumper. I was working off one lung for a while. So penicillin became my friend, and you got more chance of having an allergic reaction to penicillin by the odds. that you have with the vaccine. And of course it's an editorial because, I mean, you know, it's Friday night, the awards ceremony for my TV channel, Channel 31. I've been with them since 1995. Has been cancelled, and then maybe the whole station's going to be cancelled at the end of the month. So of course I'm a bit peeved off, but that's all right. I got my sense of humour because it is a little cooked. You know what I mean? It's a bit cooked. And what you've got to try and do is make your way through it. Do what you can do to make this joint a better place. So what happens? Melbourne through and through, eh? There you go. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close off the show with one of these wonderful... Oh, look, I've got another friend request there. I hope you're real, mate. Hope you're real. Okay. I don't think that was a lovely lady. As Ali Lee would say, is she fit, mate? Is she fit? I don't know. She's very healthy. Okay, let's go. Anyway. I'm going to love and leave you. Oh, dear me. I hope that doesn't screw up. I'm going to love and leave you with one of these little wonderful little things. Oh, it might be screwing up. Oh, boy. Okay, anyway. I'll do my best. Anyway, as you can see, it's live, raw and everything, and I have some technical issues here, but it should be fine, I hope. I hope it's fine. Here we go. This is our friend, our hero, Winnie the Pooh. Pooh's Neighborhood.
I say, it's a splendid day in the neighborhood, said Owl. It's a nice day here too, said Winnie the Pooh. Exactly what I'm saying, said Owl. A perfectly splendid day in the neighborhood. Which neighborhood are we talking about? Asked Pooh. Neighborhood, said Owl. Our neighborhood. The place where we live and where all our neighbors live and are neighborly. Oh, said Pooh, it is a splendid day, isn't it? Oh, quite, said Owl. Now I'm off for an owl's eye view. Owl flew up and circled once around Pooh's house. What does it look like from up there, Owl? Called Pooh. I can see the 100-acre wood spread out below me, said Owl, and it's a fine place indeed. Melbourne town with lockdown. Ah, cooked, mate, cooked! As Owl flew off, Pooh began to think about what it means to live in a neighborly neighborhood, with everyone wearing their masks and everyone bitching about AstraZeneca. Hey! Cooked, mate, cooked! And he thought perhaps he would bring a neighborly present to his closest neighbor, Piglet. He took a slab of honey out of his cupboard and tied a nice blue ribbon around it. Then he tucked it comfortably under his arm and stumped on down the path towards Piglet's house. But when he reached his thoughtful spot where Piglet and Pooh usually meet up during lockdown to type shit on Facebook with their phones, it's halfway between his house and Piglet's. Pooh suddenly had a thought. I could take this path straight to Piglet's house, or I could go up the path and around the whole neighborhood because we don't have our 25k limit anymore. And sooner or later the path would take me to Piglet's house anyway. And that is what he did. After he'd walked for a time, he came to the house where Kanga and Roo lived. Hello, Kanga, said Pooh. I'm just on my way to deliver this neighborly present of a slab of honey to Piglet. But Pooh, dear, Piglet lives that way, said Kanga, pointing down the very path by which Pooh had come. Yes, said Pooh, but today I'm going the long route. Oh, I see, said Kanga. Not the short route. In that case, perhaps you should come in and join us for a snack. Come on, Pooh, cried Roo. We're going to the picnic spot. Pooh said he was feeling a bit 11 o'clockish, so they all went together, past the sandy pit where Roo plays, up to the picnic spot to share a little something. Half an hour and one picnic basket later, Pooh thanked Kanga, tucked Piglet's slab of honey back under his arm and stumped down the path towards Rabbit's house. "Hello, Rabbit," called Pooh. "I'm on my way to Piglet's to give him his neighbourly present." "If you're going to Piglet's house, what are you doing here?" asked Rabbit. "I'm going the long route," said Pooh. "More like the wrong way, if you ask me, mate," said Rabbit.
Yeah.
"But since you're here, would you mind taking these carrots to Christopher Robin? I've got a bit of a stash for him there." I promised he'd have the stash there in time for lunch. Well, at the mention of the word stash and lunch, Pooh noticed that his tummy was feeling just the tiniest bit rumbly. "I'd be happy to," he said. With his stash of carrots under one arm and a slab of honey under the other, he was thinking, I've got everything I need for a pretty good day. He walked along until he came to the place where the stepping stones crossed the stream, the Yarra River, next to the casino. 1, 2, 3, 4, he counted as he teetered from stone to stone. 8 or 9 of Rabbit's friends and relations heard Pooh and peeked out of the casino windows and doors. Pooh shouted, "Hello!" Rabbit's friends and relations waved. Pooh marched across the Yarra slopes of heather and up steep banks of sandstone until at last, tired and hungry, he arrived at Christopher Robin's door. "Oh, my carrots!" cried Christopher Robin happily. "My stash! Thank you for delivering them." "It seemed the neighbourly thing to do," said Pooh proudly. "Would you like to join me for lunch?" Christopher Robin asked. "I'm with my intimate partner." And Pooh said, "Well, I'm really on my way to my bubble buddy Piglet's to bring him his present, but I don't see why I couldn't stop just for a little while to have a little bit of the stash and a little bit of slab of honey with your intimate partner, all three of us together." After lunch and a longish snooze, Pooh was back on his way. He walked down the path through the little pine wood and climbed over the gate into Eeyore's gloomy place, which was where Eeyore lived. He climbed over the fence and snuck in because you can still only have 2 visitors per day at your house, even though the lockdown is finished in the neighbourly wood, in the little forest next to the casino. "It's cooked, mate, cooked!" "Hello, Eeyore," said Pooh. "I was just on my way to Piglet's house with his neighbourly present." "Not coming to visit me," said Eeyore. "I didn't think so. I've had such a busy week typing shit on Facebook about AstraZeneca." "What? Only 4 days ago Tigger bounced me on his way to the swimming hole. He thought, you're busy typing shit on Facebook and I don't want to see you anymore. How many visitors can you expect, really?" "Just 2, Eeyore, 2! It's cooked, mate, cooked!" And Pooh, feeling rather badly now, offered Eeyore a nice little lick of from his slab of honey. I'll say that again. And Pooh, feeling rather badly now, offered Eeyore a little lick of honey. Pooh opened the jar, and Eeyore peered in. He looked back up at Pooh, peered in, "Empty," he said. "That's what it looked like to me," said Eeyore. "Oh, bother. Fucking bother." "Oh, we're cooked, mate, cooked." He stumped off glumly, trying to think how he was going to tell Piglet about the neighbourly present Piglet was not going to get. Pooh had almost arrived at the place where the woozle wasn't and was deciding to take the long path around it, just in case the woozle was. But instead, he had a whiz and a wank instead of the woozle wasn't, because the woozle wasn't where the wasn't woozle was. So he had another wank and a whiz. Hey! When he saw Owl flying over. I've seen our whole neighborhood today, Pooh told him, but now I have no neighborly present left for Piglet. The bees have been quite busy at the old bee tree lately, said Owl. It's just next to Government House. Perhaps you can get a fill up there. That's a good idea, Owl, but it's such a long way, sighed Pooh. See, I'm down here next to the casino, and that's all the way up in Spring Street. Ooh! Come along, said Owl. We'll take the shortcut through the woods. The one the bears shit in. So they walked together until they came to an open place in the middle of the forest of Melbourne. And in the middle of this place called Melbourne was the old bee tree. Pooh could hear a loud buzzing near the top. Up, up, up he climbed. Go up higher, called Owl, past the bees, to the very top of the tree. Now look all around. What do you see? The 100-acre wood was spread out below him. Oh, neighborhood of Melbourne, cried Pooh, our beautiful home, where everyone hangs shit on AstraZeneca and types shit on Facebook. And all the gigs are sold out when two mates turn up. Hey! That's the Owl's eye view, said Owl grandly. Oh, I can see poor Piglet out sweeping his walk, said Pooh. Looks like he could use some company. Yeah. So Pooh filled the slab of honey pot once more, and he and Owl went to Piglet's house for supper because he was his bubble buddy. The end.
Oh boy, I love doing them. Oh dear, what was he on? Natural high. I don't do any of that kind of business. Anyway. Yeah. Hey. I'm going into Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. Okay, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Okay. Not for the faint-hearted, hey? Hey! Try and keep your chin up. We're facing it. I shall now go off and start to put all this in my computer. And there's a little bit of editing cordial there waiting for me there on a good old Friday night. Hope you enjoyed the show. My name is Chris Quinlan, this is Melbourne Musos, and I shall have this up for you tomorrow. And may well be, what have I got there? Might even be the second last show on Channel 31. Pack a dirty bust. Of course, I love doing this, so I've got to do it on YouTube now. But please, I'm being serious for a second. There's two things you need to really think about. You need to think about what you're losing. You're going to lose a community channel that can be anything you want. Anything at all, okay? And we've had it since 1995. I've been there since pretty much the beginning. This will be show 785, and it's important. It's a funny thing, you know. It's important even as an idea, just an idea. You're having an idea taken away from you, okay? Think about that. The other thing is support your musicians. We really have to piss off these door takes, mate. Oh, they're cooked! You're better off staying at home and getting on a platform. I've got a student, dear Harley, how are you, mate? How you going? Oh, yeah, like that. And he told me about his platform and stuff. And he does drum things and stuff. And he gets paid. Hello, everyone. And you got to think about that, you know, sort of thing. So if you're a door take victim, and I don't say that lightly, but if you've been, you know, you're there and you're paying to play, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And what it is really fight for it. And fight for a gig. And I'm not just hitting venue operators over the head. My dad was a venue operator. My dad ran the Dan O'Connell Hotel. Okay? All that sort of stuff. I've seen him nearly hit the wall a couple of times, you know, that kind of thing. I've hit the wall nearly a couple of times, so I know what it's like. I'm a full-time muso. I'm trying to keep a snare drum over over my head. While Dad tried to keep the roof over ours. And what it is you're going to lose something. Okay, so what happens is twofold. Don't get me wrong, there's some wonderful venue operators out there who really do their best for musicians. But then there are a pack of dirty bastards out there as well. Okay? And we're not all together here for singing all kumbaya together, you know, that kind of thing or whatever. We've got to face reality. If you're going to call it an industry, make it one. Make it one, you know. Otherwise, you know, we're back to the Abe Lincoln Blues Bar and Grill from 1861, mate. That's the business model. So, I love you. You've had a bit of everything tonight, haven't you? Ooh, there you go. Very controversial. Good. So it should be in these dark times. So anyway, I'm going to love and leave you now, and later on I'm going to have the full show up for you. I'll cut out about, what have I got, about 10 minutes, I suppose, for Channel 31, for the 25. I've gone over a little bit. And think about it. Think about what you're doing, okay? Think about what you're doing. If you're, you know, that kind of thing. Support. We are supposed to be a big, beautiful family, and I really want it to be that. That's what, you know, we hope Channel 31 is, and that's what it represents. So, you know, have a think about it. And all that. Look at what you're losing or about to lose with that. And look at what you're losing if you just continually go off and set a precedent of, yeah, we'll do that for free, keep our hand in the game and all that sort of stuff. So much anecdotal evidence. And, you know, like, oh, we didn't get paid. You know, that kind of thing. Oh, well. Cooked! I'm out of here. See you later, boy. Ay, oh. Or wisdom. Tony Abbott, mate. There. I got two, Brendan Allison, two of them. A sweet talk the nurse.
Suppository of all wisdom. No one, however smart, however well educated, however experienced, is the suppository of all wisdom. No one, however smart, however well educated, however experienced, is the suppository of all wisdom. No one, however smart, however well educated, however experienced, is the suppository of all wisdom.
Cooked, mate!